morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Today is yesterday's show, 361, because as soon as I was going to go live, Rumble fell over. And
Rumble died,
the guys and I just hung out on Discord and basically did our show for absolutely no one, as opposed to normal, where we do it for basically no one. So
I honestly forgot we were not on Rumble yesterday. I was like, yeah, we did a show yesterday. I was like, no, we hung out in the Discord. So yeah, Rumble had a major outage yesterday morning. Right as we were fixing to go on the show, it knocked out a bunch of different shows and whatnot. And so when something like that happens, we normally will just go over to our Discord server and hang out in the community chat. We turn on the cameras. We do the same thing, except we're just over there. So if you want to join our Discord server, it's in the description down there. And if you don't know anything about Discord, just DM one of us on somewhere.
How would you explain Discord to somebody who's never been on Discord? Like, what is it?
Discord is a place to talk, but it's got a bunch of different rooms, and all the rooms are on the side. So if I wanted to go into the Internet Dad's house, I would go over here to this building and go into the Internet Dad's building, and there's all these different rooms. You've got your memes room, your general chat room, your dad jokes room, your Deke radio room, and you walk in there and you can listen to stuff. It's just that's all it is.
Yeah. So it's a social media, but it's not widely public. It's like kind of private.
Well,
kind of private.
Well, no, not anymore. It started as, gamers talking to each other because it was so unreliable to talk and play a game at the same time.
Yeah.
It was so unreliable. So they invented this third party that could come in and you could talk to each other while playing your game and not use up these resources for this. That's how it got started.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And it's good for that. There's, I can understand people not wanting to join another social media, though.
Well, if you don't know anything about Discord and the only thing you hear is the negative stuff about Discord, this kid had this on Discord.
Yeah. Oh, like a bunch of times, like it's been more than once that we've seen, so-and-so transgender shooter
manifesto
something like that
on Discord.
Yeah, and they had a Discord. Anybody can make it. Literally anybody can make a Discord server and then start
Why is this not moving?
Whatever. What do you mean it's not moving?
My camera is not moving. It's doing this camera.
Oh, there you go.
There's camera 1, camera 2.
Camera 1.
Go to camera 2.
Camera 1. Camera 2.
Why is it not?
Camera 2. Camera 1. Camera 2. What movie is that from, JJ? Camera 1. Camera 2. Camera 1.
Is that Joe Dirt?
It's from Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
Oh, okay. I thought it was from Joe Dirt.
All right. I'm going to leave and come back. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, Deke had to reload too. All right. So we're going to do yesterday's story because that's our title card, because somebody around here was lazy and didn't make a new title card for today's different shows. Just reuse the one that didn't work yesterday. The Harris campaign chief of staff has promoted using mobile devices despite election security concerns. Mobile voting. What do you think about mobile voting? Let me read a little bit of this. Sheila Nix, who's Kamala Harris's campaign chief of staff, led an organization that pushes mobile voting. The organization was founded by a former Illinois governor, Rod Blagojevich, which
Rod Blagojevich? Oh, he does so many great things for
I believe that Rod Blagojevich went to jail for corruption as governor.
Yes.
Nix promoted mobile voting, which the organization's founder discovered is still not secure. Turns out mobile phones not secure, even after allowing the state to use it in midterm elections. Hypothetically, what do you think about the idea of voting from your phone? Do you have any thoughts about it at all?
That's
your civic duty to spend a bunch of time every day being like, oh, I don't have to vote again. Oh, he went on.
It's dumb.
Dave, good morning. You think it's dumb?
Sorry, I'm having issues today.
I think that's the dumbest thing I've heard today. What the crap?
Okay. Well, I think we have to from
Which
a certain perspective, I think we have to engineer society down to the dumbest level, right? So if we're going to be
made that point years ago, we talked about this years ago. I remember this. You made that point several years ago somewhere to me, and I made you explain that, and it made freaking sense. So explain that again for when you got to dumb people down. You have to
yeah. Okay. So for instance, places like Ireland or there's some states. I think there's a state in maybe Alaska floated this idea. There's this idea of like ranked choice voting. Ranked choice voting, for instance, is a very complicated system where every person running for office is on the ballot, and then you choose like this guy number 1, this guy number 2, this guy number 3, and you put every candidate in order, right? And you do that for every office. Imagine if you guys have been voting and before, and I know you have, but imagine some people that have been out there before. And it's not just president, which presidential candidate, it's every single office. You got to rank choice everything. It requires a high level of information for all voters. Okay. That's a lot of mental burden. So ranked choice voting in theory provides a more accurate representation of what people overall prefer in a candidate. However, it's really difficult and people get tired and frustrated real fast. And there's people that are dumb that are just like, I don't know, 1 and 2. And so when you come up with these solutions or systems of voting or systems of doing anything, you've got to make it work for the dumbest person that's going to use it. That's what I think. And
the dumbest person voting.
I mean, I don't know. It's you have to think about it. But imagine this: imagine you're the dumbest person that's going to use it in your imagination.
It's hard to do.
The dumbest person that's going to use the system is dumber than your imagination of the dumbest person. Okay.
But I've always had a problem in and as I've gotten into my adult years, and I'm only going to say like the last 10 years, I'm well into my adult years. I'm almost 3 years away from 50 for Christ's sakes, but only within about the past 10 years that I have really tried to deal with this thing that I've always dealt with. And it was like, if I understand it, I don't understand why you don't understand it. It's hard for me. That's a very simple concept to me. Yeah, I could A plus B plus C equals D.
Right.
I understand that. It's very simple. But some people just they don't.
Right.
So
right.
It's
because
really hard
during your explanation, you lose them, and they're like, I don't know what he's saying anymore, and then they fall back to how they feel about an issue, and they just object, like, oh, I just think it's wrong.
Yeah.
Like there's no reasoning. It's just like, yeah. So, okay. So mobile phones. So in the future, we could all have like, maybe we actually are democratic and Americans get to vote on their phone to determine, I like that one better, to determine which, let's say budget issues. Oh, we're gonna raise our budget limit and we're gonna spend X amount of dollars. And so everybody gets to vote. I vote for this bill or against this bill. Or maybe all Americans on their phones get to vote for part of a bill, like amendments to the bill. How far do you want to take this downstream?
Wait a minute. Let's say, what would you need to do that? First of all, what you would need to do that is you would need your telephone tied to your ID and all of your information. All right. So if I'm going to vote as me through my phone, it's going to have all of my information there on my phone with all that crap and whatnot to be able to communicate that way. And if they have the power to do that, they have the power to turn it on and turn it off whenever they want or change it whenever they want. They also have the do you see what was going on in China with the huge power outages and whatnot that they've had over there? They said the main problem with it's like going on right now in some of these. I was reading the article yesterday. They were like, the main problem with these month-long power outages and stuff over there is that everybody's money is on their phone, is tied to their phone.
Yeah.
They can't buy anything. And they were
Right.
showing videos of these inside these cities, and these people had generators, and then you would pay them money, or pay them whatever to charge your phone there. And and then they would pay them so you could charge your phone from the generator. So if you have that voting by phone, you're going to have what kind of technology is going on the phone. And is that technology secure? Because I personally don't believe the internet crap and all this crap that we got now is secure. So I would be completely against. I don't care. I understand what you're saying about the dumbest people in society, but I don't care.
So you bring up some real issues. One, how does the government, how do we as a society tie a citizen's identity to their phone when we won't even agree to tie your identity to a plastic card that we've been issuing for 50 years or 100 years or whatever? So like if we won't agree to an ID card, how are we going to agree to a phone system that's ID? And okay, so let's say we solve the identity assurance issue, which is a major issue. And hypothetically, let's say we solve the security issue from endpoint to services. That is from the mobile phone to the services, that you don't get jacked in the middle. Okay, you still have this problem. You have 330 million Americans, plus or minus some, extra folks with phones, right? How are you going to stop those people from side loading some junk app onto their phone that it's like, oh, I get free this or whatever. I got Temu on my phone.
Look what Dave, that was my next. He's on my same brainwave right now. What?
Yeah.
I was thinking that a minute ago. I'm like,
addresses. What if you have multiple addresses, multiple phones? It would be so easy to circumvent a lot of them. You can get bills to both addresses.
I've been in radio for 30 years. I'm literally known by like 7 names.
Yeah.
Some people don't know my real name is Andy.
Oh, wow. We lost everybody. People are not.
I thought it was Deacon.
Come on, guys. This is the most important thing.
I like this conversation. I don't care if we've got 1,000 people or people watching.
So, okay, so yeah, people can have multiple phones. I think you can solve for that by having like a central OAuth account, right? So like you can log into the same account on multiple phones, but once you like do something,
but you can have multiple accounts.
Well, you can have multiple accounts, but for each one of those, you have to prove. Actually, no, ranked choice is a terrible idea. It's a bad idea. Bad idea.
Hey, you will
notice. It
notice.
sounds smart, and people think it sounds smart, but it's not. It's bad.
I would just like to point out here real quick that it's Dave and JJ are the ones that's arguing with Ashley and not me. I
am not arguing with Ashley on ranked choice. I think ranked choice is a much better idea than straight party ticket voting.
I do too.
I would like you to take a sample ballot of ranked choice and go down to, let's say, the community center.
Dude, I live in the sticks. It would be difficult in my area, but that doesn't mean I don't think it's a better option.
I've thought that straight party ticket voting, that's when you said the dumbest, you got to dumb it down to the dumbest level.
Said that's the dumbest.
That is it. I've always said, I'm like, people that vote straight party tickets should not have.
You don't know who you just voted for.
Imagine a dumb continuum, right? Dumb continuum. Ranked choice voting is at one end. That's the smartest, but you know what it also is? It's the hardest, which means that people won't do it because it's the hardest. And at the other end, see one choice for the whole ballot. That's the dumbest. Well, you can move in one step from that.
You have people and you have had people that are now in our older generation that feel like this, this party helped me when they were this back in the day and whatnot. And now, and they just, it's only been like the past 4 years that my father, who is at that level, he's not a dumb man, but he pays no attention to politics. The Democrats for the working man, go in, hit the straight Democrat ticket and leave. That's him. That was him. And I always thought that was stupid. I was always fascinated with it. He wasn't. But it's only been within the past 4, and I've tried to tell him for years, Dad, it flip-flopped. It flip-flopped. Democrats are not the word. It flip-flops. You know, go back through history and look, and it flip-flops. It's flip-flopped again. And it's only been the past 3 or 4 years that my father has changed his mind.
Yeah.
And that, to me, I told Ashley, I was like, that's huge. That is a major thing.
See, your dad's not dumb. No, your dad's not dumb.
Not by any means.
But it doesn't matter how smart you are. Being informed is a mental burden. It is hard to stay informed, right? One, you can't trust anything anybody's saying. And if you do trust anything,
you have to pass a test in order to vote.
No, it's racist. You can't do that. That's racist.
Yeah, you can. You can do that. But I didn't say what kind of test.
It's racist. It's racist. That's what they'll say. They will attack your test. It used to be. Okay, information levels are one thing, but when the country was founded, right? You know who got to vote, and it's racist. Landowners. Okay. Well, the only rich white man. No, the land owning thing was one, how you proved your identity because you had a deed to property. And two, it proved that you had an investment in your local area. Okay. Today, we have almost no identity proof. In some states, literally zero proof. And people can move around. They have no investment in the outcomes of their local community. So
are we as a nation, do we rent more or do we own more on housing? That's a question for Ashley.
That's a question. That's what I started. That's a question for Ashley. I bet it's flip-flopped within the past 20 years.
I don't know if we have more homeowners or more home renters.
Even if you're a homeowner, but you have a mortgage, you're still borrowing.
As a country,
yes.
I bet it's renters because of the cities.
Not just because of the cities, you have BlackRock and you have major investment firms that are putting their money into real estate and they're jacking up prices. They can outcompete homeowners and then they can consume rents. So,
Well, I mean, that's Ashley's problem right now. That she says there is not enough. There's not enough houses to show.
65.6% home ownership in the U.S. according to AI. 31.7% renters. Kentucky, it's 69.8% as homeowners, and that's 6.4% above the national average, which is really a reason you should move to Kentucky. See Ashley, she will get you hooked up.
Thanks, Dave.
Are there more renters?
I'll Venmo you some money.
In America.
Morning, do good.
Morning, do good. All right.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm getting the same information as you. 60 home ownership rate and 65.6%. That's interesting. Doesn't that seem like a high number? Do you think that seems like a high number? 65.6% ownership?
Yeah, it really does to me. I was surprised at that.
Interesting.
They don't take into account the number of illegals that may or may not be.
All right. So
folks, I don't know. Just
what do you think about voting from your phone? One, do you think you should be able to vote from your phone in major elections? Or two, do you think you should be able to vote from your phone on issues, bills? How about the continuing resolution? Shouldn't Americans be able to vote for the continuing resolution? It's going to put us in enormous debt. No, we shouldn't get to vote on that. Only those DC elites. Never had a cheaper apartment in Kentucky. Yeah.
Never had a cheaper apartment than in Kentucky. I bet.
Than in Kentucky.
Come on back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cost of living.
And I know exactly the apartments that he lived in. They were on Do Good Drive.
Do Good Street.
No.
Drive.
See, my ex lived on Do Good Drive when she was going to Murray, and she lived in those apartment complexes, and that's when we met, and that's where she lived. So when Do Good started listening to the UMCOC podcast, and I just mentioned to him one day, I was like, dude, you spell your name exactly like this crazy street in Murray. And he's like, I lived on that street in Murray when I studied in Kentucky. I was like, holy crap. That's awesome.
Okay, we got just a couple more like political things. It's nothing major today, nothing big deal. But check this out. Kamala Harris was giving a bit of I guess a rally or a speech following her amazing debate performance a couple nights ago. Let's see what she had to say about this. Make sure your ears
you
are
heard
open.
what he said in the debate. He has no plan to replace it. He said concepts of a plan. Oh, you all watched the debate.
Said what? I didn't understand what she said.
I didn't understand.
Yeah, you didn't, because she screeched like a goat. She said concepts of a plan.
Concepts of a plan.
Plan.
It was the C word that I was missing, but okay.
Concepts of a plan. Of a plan. Yeah, okay.
Have they put
and
policy stuff on their site yet?
It's just pointless to try.
They did. The day before the debate, KamalaHarris.com updated their you know what? That's a good thing that you brought that up. Let's go have a look. Kamala Harris, because it's been now like 2 months since she started running for office, and I said, oh, let's go check out her policy positions, and she had no policy positions. They've revamped their site. You can still now sign up to have your identity impersonated on Amazon, on ActBlue, and get billionaires to funnel money in your name.
No comment.
I also like this. If you take the D out, it's just a new way for war. So new way for war. All right. So
oh, sir, that's brilliant. I love that.
This is version 2 of her website. She got roasted a few days ago because she had no issues, and then 2 days before the debate, or a day before the debate, issues were added to her website. But her website, you see her website doesn't look the same as it did a week ago even. That's because it went all over the internet that they looked at the code of the website, which you can do by hitting like F12 and go into like developer mode or whatever. And they looked at the code of the new chunk of issues, and it was literally copied and pasted from Joe Biden's campaign website. They literally just grabbed it and stuck it in hers and changed the CSS a little bit.
Dude, come on, copy and paste. You've copy and pasted.
Yeah. Now, so we have tax cuts for middle class families, making rent more affordable, bring down prices, invest in healthcare, and Trump's Project 2025 agenda. So this is all, you'll see this in every kind of category. Oh, there's our issues, and then there's the evil Trump's 2025 agenda. Here's our positions. Yeah.
Look, it's in red too.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No,
it's not. It's not Trump's 2025 agenda. Donald Trump has disavowed Project 2025. He said publicly he's never even read it. It's by the Heritage Foundation, and it has been repeated many times. This is not Trump. Project 2025 is not Trump's team. But the Democrats, knowing that their viewers are stupid, are going to keep repeating this. And because this is all they need to do. They just need to keep saying Project 2025 is bad and it belongs to Trump. Therefore, Trump bad. That is their entire campaign.
You go back to that lowest denominator.
Right. So if you go to KamalaHarris.com/issues, you can read up on her issue. Well, you need to be an informed voter,
what does it
or
have
else
listed as, it says invest in America's sources of strength.
Sure.
What are our sources of strength?
Yeah. Let's see. Strongest nation on earth, American workers, innovation industry. She has stood up to China's unfair economic practices. I think there's no evidence of that. She advanced our economic cooperation around the world and rallying leaders at an AI summit in the UK, convening semiconductor business in East Asia.
I so want to make a dirty joke about
what
how
are our
she rallied
strengths?
the leaders.
What are our strengths?
Literally nothing here. There's nothing there. Let's see. Let's try. Ensure no one is above the law. Oh yeah, she's going to support common sense Supreme Court reforms, like requiring justices to comply with ethics rules that other federal judges are bound and imposing term limits. So she's going to add to the Constitution because the Constitution has all the powers over the Supreme Court. So she's just going to change the Constitution. Okay. Anyway,
Constitution can be amended.
I'm
Sure
not
it can.
sure. I'm not sure she can do that. Those are nice, pretty big words, but I don't think you can do that.
Let's see. How somewhere in here is reducing costs. Oh, she's going to make home ownership more affordable, more attainable. That's
That
good.
would be like, okay, that would be like us three owning
Here
this
we go.
show. We make us three making all the rules for this show, 33 1/3% for us, each one.
Yeah.
And then me just deciding that I don't like Dave here all the time, and I'm only going to give him 6 more months. And then we're going to replace
That's
Dave
fair.
after 6 months.
Right. Yeah.
With
We're
I
gonna-
don't
AI.
have
know,
the power to
We're
do
going to
that.
rotate.
Yeah, I don't
Replace
have
it
the
with
power
AI.
to just say I can get up and tell people, hey, this is what we're going to do because we don't like Dave, and they're going to be like, yeah,
Yeah.
we don't like Dave either, you know. But that it doesn't work that way.
Ouch.
Let
I
us
like
know in
Dave.
chat, guys. Do
I
you
like
guys like Dave or not like Dave?
No, I'd vote for Dave.
All one of you.
I
love
love this one. Opportunity economy agenda. She talked about this on the debate the other day. Her plan is to give small businesses a $50,000 tax credit. So in order to operate. So her plan relies on small businesses getting, making themselves, becoming successful to the point where they would owe $50,000 in taxes, and then she'll give them a credit on that. She said that on the debate, and my wife, who was watching the debate, said, so she wants new businesses to start in this terrible economy, and she's going to have them like, she's like, explain that to me. I don't understand. So, this isn't a $50,000 loan. This isn't a No, this is just like, oh, we're going to reduce the amount that you have to pay us just a little bit. Reduce it a little bit. So, yeah. Okay.
Do we have to
I
talk
don't-
about
I don't-
Kamala still?
No, hey, you guys brought it up. And then there's this. I have this one video clip. I thought this was fun. Check this out. Hang on. Pause. Here we go. This is this is from the, I guess, the not fire Joe Biden and
Okay,
Donald
start all
Trump.
over again. Want to start all
Yeah.
over again?
Joe Biden and
Yeah.
Donald Trump
Okay.
visited firefighters from 9/11 because recently, 2 days ago was the anniversary of 9/11. So there was an event. And I think you should keep Dave around. That's cool. How did you get the
Yeah,
picture? How'd you get the words at the top? How'd you do that?
I just hit pin.
How come when I do
there
it, it
was
covers
even
our
something in
face?
the show chat. I don't see it here, but there was something in the show chat. Oh, we like Dave. He's great. The best. Keep
Oh,
him.
really?
He'll be
I
huge.
can't. I'm
That's in the
looking
show
for that.
chat.
I don't see
in the
that
Discord
anywhere.
server.
Oh, it's on that. Okay.
Yeah, but it didn't show up in here. Which is sad.
I'm not seeing it. I don't know.
I'm reading it. It's right there.
All right, so President Biden and Donald Trump visited these firefighters. So it's only a minute. Let's check it out. So Joe Biden and Kamala Harris walk in, and people are there. They see him, and they're just like, "All right,
Do you have
Okay.
the audio one?
oh, you can't hear it." I'm sorry.
Nope.
I don't know why it does this. Here. Listen to this roar of applause for President of the United States of America. He walked in, and they're like, "Oh, that's Joe and Kamala. All right, y'all are here. Get a chair or whatever."
There he is.
Oh, who's that? It's Donald Trump. Firefighters cheered for Donald Trump, and they had nothing to say for Joe Biden.
That's weird.
They're taking
No comment.
pictures and stuff.
I think this
Isn't
is
that
an
weird?
AI generated video, JJ.
It must be AI generated. It can't be. That can't
Yeah, he's
be real.
edited in. He's not really there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fake.
No
yeah.
comment.
No comment.
Okay. I don't know how I get tricked by this stuff.
You
Yeah.
always do. It's okay. It's okay. A
Uh,
lot of people do.
let's see. Let's see. Does this work? Let me try this. This is the last one. I think this is the last political one. No, that's not it. Is it here?
I still see
God.
AI
I
generated
know.
Trump.
Yeah, AI.
I know. I know. Let me try this one more time.
Oh, that's why it does that. It's because I moved my camera for the. Okay, I just figured that out.
Tim Waltz just said that Kamala Harris started her career as a young prostitute.
Because this started, and I love this story, as a young prostitute. Kamala Harris talked about going in that courtroom for the first time.
You got to play it again. Play it again.
Because this started, and I love this story, as a young prostitute. Kamala Harris talked about going in that courtroom for the first time.
Play it
That's
again. Play it again.
her
Play it again.
vice president.
Because this started, and I love this story, as a young prostitute. Kamala Harris talked about going in that.
Spit my drink everywhere.
Oh my God, dude, that's her choice for vice president. He just called her a young prostitute.
Now, JJ, that was an obvious slip of the tongue. And you're
I don't know
right.
that it was
That was a
obvious.
slip of the tongue. But have you ever heard the philosophy of a man named Sigmund Freud?
Mm.
And you say things that sometimes that your brain is thinking.
Right. Let's see. I got okay. This is
no, that wasn't that when Biden wore the Trump hat. No, I don't think that was when he was with Kamala. We had the whole exchange on that because you can't see a lot of the exchange, but when you watch the whole exchange, it's really like he wanted to put on the Trump hat. Like he was like, "Yeah, let me have
does
that."
look
But
like that.
It really does appear that Biden wanted to put on the Trump hat.
I don't have that clip.
Do you not? Where did I put it? I think I put it in news drops. Hang on, let me go back and look.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
There's that first one.
Young prostitute.
That was great. That was great. That was great. I don't know. I can't find it. It's on here somewhere.
Okay.
I don't know.
Here's the last little story. Anthony Blinken. Abe Blinken.
Did you say
went
Abe
to-
Lincoln?
No, I said, hey, Blinken.
Anthony Blinken went to Europe to
We need to, every time we mention him, we need to bring up that clip like we bring up the AI clip. Every time.
I'm not
You
sure.
need a little.
Can we make that happen?
Yeah,
We need
yeah,
to have-
yeah, that's what we
Look,
need.
look.
Well, every time we talk about Anthony Blinken, you need to hit the little button like, the AI, but it's just the clip of him going, Dave Chappelle going,
Did you say
Abe Lincoln?
No, I don't have. Send me the clip in Discord.
Okay, I will.
Oh my
Um,
word! It's like
um,
classic.
God, that's the best movie of all time.
So Anthony Blinken
Definitely up there.
is is he our Secretary of State? I don't remember what his position is, but he went to Poland. He went to Poland to meet on behalf of the Biden administration, and there is a Polish minister of parliament that had something to say about it. So let's give this a looky-loo. Here we go. Let's see.
Blinken, go home. Go home as soon as possible. Get lost. Get lost. We don't want you here. We don't want Polish people paying and dying for your wars. Thank you very much. Blinken.
Whoa, you couldn't be more clear than that. We do not want to pay for your wars. Go home. And I agree. Blinken, go home. Oh.
Hey, Blinken. Did you say Abe Lincoln? No, I say Abe Lincoln. I said,
I was
hey,
trying to find
Blinken.
it.
Hold the reins, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. That part right after that is hilarious because they're fighting over the stream.
Well, the part right before that's hysterical. You? Yeah.
That movie
Oh,
is
man,
good.
I
I remember
chew.
watching that in the theaters. Oh,
Oh my
Jake.
God, that's great. Hey, speaking of
Movies used
watching
to be
movies in the theaters, JJ, Ashley and I had a little date yesterday. I was very excited. We went to the movie theaters together.
Did you, sir?
Yes, we went to the movie theaters together. We did
Did they
not. I
have
know what
cake?
you're thinking. We didn't see some. She's not really into sci-fi or anything like that or fantasy, and that's fine. But she knows she likes rom-coms and romances and stuff like that.
You
We
sound Deadpool
chose-
Wolverine. That's
We
a
chose,
rom-com
yeah,
right there.
Deadpool. She's not into the comic book movies and stuff like that. That's fine. We chose a movie that we thought that we could hold hands and snuggle up and watch together. I Racist by Mr. Matt Walsh.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
And it actually comes out today. They were showing it yesterday for all 9 people that were in the movie theater with us.
Yeah.
And so it was fantastic. It makes you uncomfortable to the point that you want to. I got uncomfortable at 2 or 3 points in there that I wanted to like get up and leave. It's like the uncomfortableness that you got when you watch Borat do his stuff around the people, and it kind of makes you, it makes me, I'm like, I kind of kept shifting in my seat and whatnot because I was very uncomfortable in those spots because he wanted you. It was made to be that way. But man, was it freaking great. Great.
Let's play a trailer for the movie for people that haven't seen it.
Okay.
Or
Do you
talk
have a
about
trailer?
it? I mean, I have the.
Play it if you have it, or I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, no, I got it. I have it.
Okay.
So for folks who haven't seen the trailer for this movie, this is a new film. This is produced by
I have
Daily
not seen
Wire,
the trailer.
right? Oh, you haven't? Oh my gosh, you're in for a treat, I believe. Except I have to push the right button over here.
You have to. Yeah, I see it done. Yeah, there we go.
All right, one more.
Let's be clear what's happening in this country. It's Nazism. Republicans are Nazis. You cannot separate yourselves from the bad white people.
Growing up in the 90s, I never thought much about race. Sure, you noticed, but never really seemed to matter that much, at least not to me.
Being a white, straight, cisgender man is the top of the pile.
I'm on the top of the pile. That's me. Am I racist?
I would really appreciate it if you left.
I'm trying to learn. I'm on this
Can you please leave?
If I'm going to sort this out, I need to go deeper undercover. If I want to be an ally, I need to look like one.
What is racism?
Martin Luther King said not to judge people by
Martin Luther King said a lot of stuff.
Is America inherently racist?
What the hell is that?
The word inherent is challenging there. America is racist to its bones. All of the
So inherently.
Yeah.
The entire system has been burned. And I'm not going to even use save this country. This country is not worth saving. This country is a piece of shit.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
They gonna say I'm racist.
Joining us now is Matt, certified DEI expert.
Here's my certification. Where are you guys in your anti-racist journeys? So I'll look around the room and point to who we believe is the most racist person in the room. We want to rename the George Washington Monument to the George Floyd Monument. Would you mind signing it? You will? What do you think about this issue of heteronormativity and how it intersects with the broader
That guy right
structures
there.
of racism?
That guy right
in
there.
society?
Morgan.
They gonna say I'm racist.
What's up with white people? What are you doing to decenter your whiteness?
Who's making it the center? Why are they doing that?
And what you're doing is you're stretching out of your whiteness. This is more for you in this field. White.
Folks,
White.
trash, white supremacy, white woman, white boy,
White.
entitlement,
White.
centering, white silence.
Is there a black person around here? There's a black person right here. Does he not exist?
They gonna say I'm racist, but they call everybody racist.
Hi, Robin.
Hi. And what's your name?
I'm Matt.
Matt. Hi,
Yeah.
Matt.
Nice to meet you.
I just had to ask who you are because you have to be careful.
Never be too careful.
They gonna say you racist, but they call everybody racist.
So that lady there wrote this
Whoa.
book called White Fragility, and she that just completely dumped Dave. He just couldn't take
Yeah.
that anymore.
Dave fell out.
That woman wrote this book called White Fragility that was like the New York Times bestseller for I don't know how many years or whatnot.
Yeah.
And everybody
Yeah.
quotes it and cites it and all this stuff. And it is hilarious. That whole interaction with her is great. Okay. the very first thing, because he's just interviewing her, you know, and he was like, can you tell me about this, blah, blah, blah. And she says something about mansplaining. All right. So Matt goes, okay, can you tell me what that is? What mansplaining is? And she goes, well, that's when a man, you know, decides to explain something, blah, 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 blah. And Matt goes, well, I don't think that's what it is. I think it's blah, 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 when blah, 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 blah. And she just
he mansplaining to her.
I busted out laughing in the movie theater. It was so hilarious.
Oh my God.
In that interview with her, she's talking about reparations, giving reparations.
Right.
So his buddy Ben, it's one of the producers or whatnot, he has him come in and sit down in a chair right between the middle of them. And she goes, can we just say what we need to Ben right now? He was like, you can go first. So right there, he was sitting right between them. Okay. And she, you know, she says, you know, I apologize for my whiteness and my this and this. And, you know, she says all this piece, and then she goes over to Matt, and Matt's like, well, you know, I apologize for this, but I want to make reparations now. So he gets out his wallet and he's like, this is all the money I have. And he hands it to Ben. Ben just grabs it and takes it and puts it in his pocket. And she's like mortified. So she's like, I just think that's weird what you did. She was like, that's not a societal thing. We're talking about on a systemic level, on a society. And he was like, well, why wait? Why don't I just do it at my level? You know, why don't I start little and do it now? And it kind of dumbfrowns her, like, oh yeah, you're right. And he goes, do you want to give him some money? Do you want to? And she looks at him, and Ben's like, hey, I'll always take cash. So she goes over to her freaking purse and gets out money and walks over and gives it to Ben. And she's like, this is all the cash I got. And he's like, thanks. And he takes it. And then every time he had a guest show up that they were talking to, he showed how much money they charged to be interviewed. And she cost like $15,000 to be interviewed. So when that came up, when she gave him $30, it went $1,470. There was one lady on there that was charging $50,000 to be interviewed, and it was a mother of two children of color that was filmed at a Disney parade where the character was like seeing everybody and walked right over the two little girls and didn't. And the woman said it was completely racist and got a lawyer and charged $50,000 to do this. It's crazy. He shows how much each one of them people cost.
So, having seen this movie, do you think does it
fabulous?
His entire disguise was just putting on this wig, and
the very
didn't even change his name.
The very first meeting he goes to, where that woman's like, "We need to ask you to leave." The very first meeting he goes to, he's sitting in there, and they ask him his name, and he says his name's Steve. And so when they take a break in the meeting, you see people looking him up, and they figure out who he was. So when he comes back in, they basically confront him without confronting him. And he's all being like, hey, I just want to learn. I just want to learn. And they're like, the one woman's like, I feel threatened by you. It's so hilarious when you see these people. All of the DEI people and the people talking about race are the most racist ones. And when he goes into the biker bar and that guy says, huh?
Yeah,
those people in the biker bars, and there was a black guy down in Louisiana down in Louisiana at this auto repair shop that he sits and talks to for a long time, that has a great Louisiana Cajun accent. I can just listen to him talk all day long. Those people are the least racist ones. Like that little old black guy, you just want to go give him a hug, man. He's great. Yeah, it's really a good movie of the hypocrisy of, you know, race. They're trying to keep this racism going because it's a business. That girl taught a racism class, and she charged $30,000 to that one girl. the first girl that kicked him out,
D'Angelo. Oh,
that girl charges $30,000.
Her book was White Fragility.
That D'Angelo lady was White Fragility. Yeah.
I read that book.
So
I
did
read a
lot
few of the
people.
books
So
when
did
they all
Matt.
came out. Yeah, because I wanted to kind of
Yeah.
understand.
yeah. What do you learn?
What'd you think about the book White Fragility?
So I read that
As a
and,
cis white
it
male.
was like three.
Heathen.
There were 3 books that I read at the same
Heteronormative.
time. We had it. This is the coolest thing ever that I experienced. Right after the Breonna Taylor incident in Louisville, my graduating class posted on Facebook in our chat, "Hey, let's get together and let's talk about race." I'm like, "I'm in. I want to hear. I want to know what's up." I went with a fairly. We were a fairly diverse class back in '96, so we had these Zoom meetings like for monthly, and it was great to see people. It started with like 30 of us showing up. There was over 300 in our class, and it ended with like 3 of us showing up.
Yeah,
But
it fell off. Okay.
one of the things that I will say, I got pulled over about a year ago for speeding. And my thought was, am I going to get out of this ticket? That was my thought. What I never thought was, am I going to get shot? Am I going to have a confrontation with this officer? Those thoughts never crossed my mind.
Okay.
I have friends of color who've been pulled over and they've had those thoughts. Whether those thoughts are based on truth or not, they're based on their perceptions of the media and everything else. And that was
That's the
first
key.
time. That was the first time I ever thought, I might have some advantages to being white that I didn't think about. And those are there because that thought never crosses my mind. That's an advantage that I have.
But out of 5,000 traffic stops this month on African American people, how many of those are we going to actually hear about? Only the ones that are bad.
Right. The vast majority of traffic stops are white individuals. The vast majority of people that are arrested, the majority are white. I mean, you can look at the
Right.
the
Crime
numbers,
statistics. Yeah.
but that's not what we hear and see on the media. And so there's a perception that gets built into culture, and it's kind of.
And I'm not
it's
trying to say
frustrating
that
it's
doesn't
there.
happen. I'm not trying to say that doesn't,
Well,
because
it definitely does.
that's something that I never thought of. I mean, I get pulled over by the cops. That's one thought that never goes through my mind.
Right.
But
that's not
at
that's not
15
universal.
years old, I was trained to turn off the car, put your hands on the steering wheel so that he can see them at all times, and tell him what you're going to do, where you're going to reach.
Right.
And it's not because
Right.
you're following orders, it's you're making him feel safer. And if he feels safer, you're going to be safer.
Yeah.
Right. If my hands are on the steering wheel when he walks up, he knows even when he's got those lights shining on me, if he can see my elbows sticking up and my hands on the steering wheel, he knows I'm not looking for something. I'm not looking for my registration and crap until he asks for it. And then I'm
Right,
saying
'cause he
it's
may
in the
not
glove
ask for it.
box.
He may
Right.
not ask for it, or she.
There was just
Well, this is what
stuff
yeah,
that was
so-
taught
so
to me
that
a
was
long
my-
time
my
ago
big
to make them feel
takeaway.
safer.
My big
So
takeaway from
don't
white
be
fragility
combative.
and goodness, I cannot remember the other books that I read at the same time.
Did you read this book is anti-racist? Did you read that?
No.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
That's by I can't remember saying.
And it was a I agreed to read these books for the
Yeah.
purpose of our discussion. And I got to talk to some friends who I hadn't seen
Hold
since I
on.
graduated.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you're saying you read that book and then you became aware of like, oh, you may have a bias.
Well,
however,
yeah.
could it be that you're misattributing the bias because you know not to fight police officers when you get pulled over? You know to obey commands until you're released.
Possibly.
Yeah. I mean,
But it's
yeah.
a thought that never crosses my mind, regardless.
right.
Because I don't think that I'm going to have an altercation with an officer. I don't think an
Right.
officer is going to overreact to my presence.
Right. but it's not okay. Okay. Well, I mean, look, I'm definitely not defending cops because there's definitely bad cops, but
and there's great cops. There's lots of great cops.
If you don't act sus, if you don't try to hide something because you're not getting away with it, you know, if you just pull over, park, and wait, and then follow commands, you're not going to have a bad. I mean, unless you got dope.
Sometimes it's not about acting sus. Sometimes it's something that's in the back of your mind where you're scared, you're fearful, and that fear, you're not acting suspicious.
Sure.
That fear might be misinterpreted.
But most law enforcement officials, experienced law enforcement officials, know the difference between somebody that's nervous and somebody that's nervous because they're trying to hide something. You know, that's just comes with the experience.
Let me just say, I've been pulled over before. When those lights light up, adrenaline hits your system.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like, oh, is that for me? Yeah. And then calm down, pull over, take a deep breath.
I watched this TikTok guy the other day that popped up, and he was a cop, and he was sitting there talking, and I don't know what his name or where he was, but he was like, the video, he was sitting there. The first thing he was like, what I'm about to tell you, I was probably going to piss off a lot of you people, but blah, 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 blah. And he went on and he said, when he passes by people in the morning, he will hit his brakes. Just hit his brakes. And he said, what I'm doing that for is to get the adrenaline pumping in you. He said, that's a thank you. I'm waking you up a little bit because as soon as I go by you and I hit my brakes like that real hard, he was like, you're like, oh my God, you start paying attention.
Dude,
your adrenaline. I know. I was like,
I can't tell how many times I've passed a cop and I just look in my side view mirror, like make sure he's not turning to the
I do it every time.
to do a roundabout.
There's a little 45. There's a little stretch going up to work every morning that I take that goes up a hill, and it's only 45 miles per hour, but you can easily get up to 55 miles per hour if you're not paying attention. Okay, because you're just bopping along 5:30 in the morning. There's a spot in that road where the cops will sit, and if you're going too fast, they'll turn the lights on for one go round. And so you're bebopping along, and all of a sudden you see these blue lights from over to your left go whoop one time, and you're like, oh God, better slow down. Yes, thank you, sir. Let me just go on. Thank you, officer. Hope you have a great day.
Donuts are on the way.
Yeah.
All right. Here's my last thing for the day, guys.
I wanted to see the story that you brought up, a story that I didn't even see. Didn't you post it in there about the Robin DiAngelo said that she was deceived by that movie?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, but we talked about it because the whole gag I was going to get into was her being tricked to pay reparations, and you covered it. So
okay, that's what it was about. Oh, okay,
yeah,
all right,
that's what I thought that was hilarious.
It was.
Here is a story from Raw News Alerts. Now, Deke, you have a train by your radio station.
Yes, 30 feet away.
So here is a pretty awesome clip of a train. Let's see if this is good. So we have what here appears to be a army tank on the back of a flatbed truck. So
Shit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
I mean, boom.
Oh.
And in slow-mo from another angle. I hope he's out of that truck.
Dude, that's what we should make our tanks out of.
What? Yeah, the trains?
Tanks should all be trains. Just
Why would you park your truck on the railroad tracks? And
he probably didn't park. Like he probably was trying to go across with that odd load, and the way that you go up with the angle of the tracks probably was going to scrape that, because that looks like one of those trailers that goes down to hold that tank and then comes back up.
Yeah. So it's got like a gooseneck.
I bet he was very concerned that he was going to scrape the road and not be able to get over that. And then here comes the freaking train, and it was a busy road. I bet he couldn't back up.
You get a good angle of it right here, I think. Okay, so right there.
Like, the
So-
silver car's like,
Yeah.
nope. It's getting
And you're
out of
right.
there, man.
You're right. He's the train track's
stuck.
kind of on a hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
going straight.
Oh, and
That
it
was-
kind of looks like he's got tires, like smoke coming off of his
Look,
wheels right
I'm
there.
telling you, that is an oversized load. Those routes
Yeah.
are supposed to be planned out well before they go, every single
Yeah.
little spot that they go. And this was poor planning on someone's part. This is
Mhm.
not like on the truck driver, that he just decided to turn right. This was a planning. Those oversized loads have to be planned.
If you guys can see, I think that's smoke right there. I think he is peeling out with
I think
his,
he's
with his
trying.
truck. He ain't moving. He ain't moving.
Was he in the
It's
truck?
honestly probably good.
Those
It's probably
tires wouldn't
good
be
that
going if he wasn't.
Go
It's
rewind
good
it
that the
back.
train hit
I
it
wanna
where
watch
it
the
did.
tires.
That's making smoke at those tires. In fact, I think you can even see the wheels turning because watch the reflection right there. It looks like it's turning. See?
It does.
That,
Yeah, I think he
that's
was in
probably
it.
the best place for that train though to hit that load.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right
I
at
mean,
the
he
weakest
could have
spot,
survived
just-
that.
Constant
He
point.
hit him right at
And
the
that tank-
kingpin.
Yeah, he hit him
that
right at the
tank-
kingpin. Yeah. The
The
linchpin.
tank just bounced like it was a toy. The train is so massive and so heavy. The train didn't derail. It just
No, it didn't.
right
This is
through it.
why I said we need to be
Blew.
making our tanks out of those. Those need to be our
so
tanks
powerful.
now.
All right. I thought that
WCCK.
was interesting.
Do good. It's
What if you had
CCK.
tracks?
WCCK. But we're not the train. We should be.
We
was
need
close.
tracks that are going to go around the outside of our
The train.
military trains. Yeah. So it's like a giant wheel and it
Yeah.
has its own.
Hey, I've seen these trains come by a few years ago that were completely loaded down. It was one of those military trains. We're on the P&L Railway, and the P&L stands for Paducah to Louisville, the Paducah to Louisville Railway. And I have seen some military trains come through that's loaded down with like potable
David.
water and stuff like that.
Hey.
That's interesting. All right, JJ. GG.
Not a clue.
Well, that's all I
wait
got. You
second.
got a
Hold
song
on,
for us?
I'm mic'd.
Mute, Dave.
Yeah,
Hit the wrong
yeah,
button.
you're
Might
still
be
like, yeah, I
other
can't mute.
Speaker.
So, I don't think I can mute you. Can I
Yeah, you
mute
did.
him?
Oh, he muted. Okay. I think you hit the
Oh, I
wrong button.
can mute him. I think if I do, it's like permanent.
Oh, don't
Do you got a song for us today?
no, I haven't been doing songs. I'm sorry. I'm a slacker. I can't help
Okay.
it. That's what I do.
What about a joke? Oh, my gosh, I really wish Dave was here because I have something for him. You want to do your joke first? Maybe he'll come back.
I'm looking for my joke.
Well, hey, before we do that, thanks guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. We're here Monday through Friday on rumble.com/internetdads or on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much. Come hang out with us, drink coffee, throw some stories at us or some comments.
Oh goodness, I'll just go with this one. All right, you do your joke first.
Oh, okay. All right.
Where did it go?
Let's do. Yeah, I don't know where you want. Let's do. What do you call a fish with no eyes? Fish with no eyes. Yeah, that's right.
Why don't you use the ones I gave you? All right. Cute one, though. That's a cute one though to tell
All
to
right.
the kids.
Okay. All
All
right.
right, that's a good one that I've used. I've recycled that. That's a classic
Yeah.
dad joke. That's a good one to
Good.
use to the kids. All right. I recently, since we were talking about this earlier, I recently took a poll, all right, and found out that 100% of the people in the tent were angry when it collapsed. It is Friday the 13th. Jeez, man, that was kind of ooh, that was creepy. Don't do that again.
I made that for you. Dave was in on the gag, but he
It scared the crap out of me when I heard that.
That's my new laugh track, and I made it so the sound goes around. It goes left and right. Like I think it came through in stereo on your end. All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back next week. Call your mom. or your dad or somebody. It's Friday the 13th, so you never know what's going to happen.
Call
tonight.
Jason. Double entendre. Why is that the wrong song?
I don't know.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter